Happy birthday, Derek Jacobi. Today, for your birthday, we are celebrating with solitary confinement.
Indeed, we are. Because he's definitely watching this.
Definitely, we know he's a big fan, subscriber, loyal
Yeah,
lurker. So, Derek
likes
Jacobi.
all our videos. Thank you, Sir Derek. We tried this intro with both of us saying happy birthday as if it was a surprise party for him.
But hey,
But yeah,
surprise, here we are.
yeah, we couldn't get our audios to sync up quite right while we were doing that, so it just became a bit of a screw it. We'll just do one of us saying
It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
yeah, here we are talking about June's box set, Solitary Confinement, the ninth one of these now. We've got 9 War Master box sets with
Soon to
10
be
all
10,
well
yeah.
on the way. Yeah, next month. Yeah, with The Walls of Absence by James Goss, The Long Despair by Tim Foley, The Life and Loves of Mr. Alexander Bennett by Alfie Shaw, and The Kicker by Trevor Baxendale. All this sort of set in the framing device of the Master in a Mental Institute, like with him telling stories about his past in the first 3 stories, and then finally for the finale, it's what he's up to there, why he's in there, what's been going on, what's his plan, all those reveals really. So it's an interesting format, I'd say, but I feel like it almost feels like the whole ends up being less than the sum of its parts because of it for me.
Yeah, I think that there's a criticism with this box set that it's kind of we're treading the same ground what the War Master range does, and it does it brilliantly.
Yeah, it certainly feels like maybe there's diminishing returns at this point with this box set's approach. Like, the format of War Master pretending to be nice, getting along with people, and then, there's about 5 minutes left of the story, time to backstab. And yeah,
Yeah,
you sort of, I don't know, like it's an inevitable format in a way, but
hmm
one that almost feels like it's been done too many times and often in very somber pieces. Like I think there's a lot of heavy listening to be had here,
it's a heavy
and
range.
yeah, and sometimes you just sort of it's not necessarily what you always want, especially for so many box sets in
No,
a row.
if you're like
Or
marathoning this range, then it'll be quite a bleak one.
yeah,
It's
you
we
need someone
always
to check in on you every once in a
yeah,
while with it.
and I think the War Master's a range where you've got to be in the right headspace for it to
Hmm.
get it. You can't
Yeah,
just stick it on and go for it. You've kind of got to sort of mentally prepare yourself for it, going, what the hell am I going to put myself through
yeah. I mean, this
with
came
it?
out back in June, as we say, and
Mm.
when this video comes out, October 22nd. We haven't listened to it before um, that. This isn't like a re-listen for us. This is our first time listening to it come October to record this video a couple of days before. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I feel like part of that was just War Master fatigue a bit after, like it was 6 very strong box sets,
Mhm.
and then Self Defense and
Escape from reality.
Escape from Reality. Yeah, felt like a bit of a shaky ground for the range.
It
Like
was the
suddenly
first
it
time where I was
wasn't.
like, these
Yeah,
are a bit. I don't want to say stinkers, but it's not of the quality you expect. Because it's one of the
yeah.
high Big Finish ranges. It's one of the most consistent ranges.
Hmm. Yeah, and then suddenly it did have quite a drastic drop, I suppose, with those two. And I feel like part of it is down to a change in how they've approached these,
Yes.
partially due to the pandemic, I think, maybe had a part to play in it, where they've more been going for individual stories and then sort of trying to get a bit of a overall
Form a
framework
over
to
story.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a way that doesn't always make for a cohesive whole. Like,
Hmm.
because I believe for the Tenant box at last year's Self Defense, the last story was written and recorded first, rather quickly because of David Tennant's availability, and then the rest of the set had to retroactively lead up to that.
Hmm.
And it sort you could kind of tell
Yeah.
with it, unfortunately. And I feel like it's sort of the same case here. I don't know which was written first and recorded and such, but it certainly feels like the finale is a standalone episode, then retroactively had these other 3 stories shunted onto the front. And in some ways, a certain character in particular, Bartholom, who is a warden at the asylum and is the one who interacts with the Master throughout the first 3 stories, she feels like a completely different character in the finale to me. Like, suddenly there's a drastic drop in intelligence there, and sort of just becomes a bog standard warden character, whereas before it was very interesting having it almost be the Master's psychiatrist for those first 3 episodes in the chats that they have, where he's regaling her with all these stories from his past. And I think those stories are where the strengths of this set lie, really. So yeah, the first one, the Walls of Absence by James Goss. It's like set on this world of code breakers, or code purgers, they're called, where they're cleaning up the galaxy's code, all the different subroutines and stuff that Daleks, Time Lords, everyone, they don't discriminate. They'll come in and sort out all your code for you. And the Master has lost his mind, so needs a code purger to look through his mind and find out who he is.
The general, you should say.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to be had in this one, but maybe a bit overlong. I thought that's the case with quite a few of these. They are chunky stories, and you do feel like, okay, I've got the point now. Can we wrap this up, please?
I'd say it probably takes about 20 minutes before the actual story kicks in, I would say. It's all great character stuff, because this is sort of an I, Claudius reunion with Dame Sian Phillips.
Yeah, those 2 working together here. And it's a 2-hander, really, between them, isn't it? There's a couple of other characters that pop up. You got Bartholom in, like, the present, talking to the War Master. But I feel like that's only at the very start and the very end. I don't think there's too many interruptions in this story. I think other stories maybe use the format a bit more. This one very much feels like a standalone story with a little bit of framing for the whole box set tucked on the front and the end.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a beautiful story, especially when you get them in art galleries and discussing paintings. And
one painting in particular, there's some wonderful discussion there about the War Master's philosophy, I suppose. And yeah, that's wonderful character stuff in that moment.
One thing what I found quite beautiful was when they went to the opera, and how that sort of links in with memories and associations of to that point, which I think is quite beautiful.
Yeah, that's true.
And how we associate things with people.
Because a lot of it is all about memories and such, isn't it?
It is. It's very beautiful.
And then it sort of, again, it ends somewhat predictably.
It's a standard War Master.
You know it's not going to be a happy ending because it's the War Master.
Yeah.
You know, something's going to go wrong there.
But the War Master didn't
I don't think it's a spoiler to really say that. But yeah, I thought it was a fairly strong start to the set, though.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good solid opener.
And then we have A Voyage Across the Seas with the Long Despair by Tim Foley on the ocean world of Murky, which a wonderful little pun in the title there, where the Master teams up with a captain played by Jason Fleming.
Yeah.
And they work together to go out to sea to find this mysterious beacon on the horizon and have to face 3 perils along the way. So, yeah. And again, another mostly 2-hander, really. And that's sort of the thing you'll find with these War Master sets is they are often very small cast, aren't they? Particularly
it's very intimate.
Yeah. The format they're going for at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I think probably the strongest of the set.
Yeah, this is my favourite one. It sets up the threat of it. And everyone has their own little goals and ambitions.
Yeah.
And
There's
how,
a lot of mystery with the captain early on, isn't there?
yes, yeah.
And you wonder, sort of, has the War Master met his match here as they spar off each other for a while?
And you have the War Master sort of biting his tongue, playing, I guess, the long game with everything with it.
Mm. Yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit, and certainly there's some horrors within this one as well.
Mm.
Like, I think the way it feels almost like a folklore story.
Yeah, it's like a
With
Grimm's
everything.
fairy tale, isn't it?
Yeah, and how it plays on a lot of your typical sea myths and such.
Yeah, sirens and sea witches.
Yeah, I think all that plays into it nicely for this nautical epic, I suppose, is what it's really going for
Yeah.
with the War Master there. But again, it does fall into that trap of, oh, twist at the end. Who saw this coming? Well,
Yeah.
everyone. I mean, usually it feels wrong to say, oh, there's a twist at the end. But I feel like it's so
a given.
obvious
given
because
this
it's the war.
range.
He's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's annoying because I'm enjoying most of what's on offer here, but at the same time, I can't help but feel a bit like,
Cheated.
can we not mix it up somehow? Do we have to have the War Master pretending to be nice for a while, and can we not just have one where he's outright evil all the way through? Somehow, I mean, we kind of get that with the kicker, but that has other issues that we'll get to.
Yeah, Kicker's very different.
Yeah, but before the kicker, we had The Life and Loves of Mr. Alexander Bennett by Alfie Shaw. What an evil man Alfie Shaw is. This is a dark story.
There's dark, and then there's Alfie Shaw dark. It's a perfect marriage for the War Master, really.
I mean, this is the one that he's the most absent from.
Yeah.
Because he's Alexa.
Yeah, I think there's a beautiful social commentary on that. And I think it's one where you kind of self-reflect on your own life. Because you have Jacob Dudman being the lead character. And it sort of, I guess, the trappings of life.
Yeah, I mean,
love.
it's set on an alien world or like an Earth colony, but it feels very, very domestic. Like there's very little to really set it apart from our own world. Same with the Walls of Absence, to be fair. Like I think both of them, when it comes to world building, well, I don't really want to say that about The Life and Loves of Mr. Alexander Bennett though, because it feels like the point really. It's just that due to events that occur later in the story, it can't take place in our own worlds.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly, it's one you want to check on yourself after.
Yeah.
It takes you to some interesting places. And it's basically just the War Master driving poor Jacob Dudman mad for an hour and a bit.
To insanity, yeah.
Yeah, and trying to break him. There's not much more I can say about going too much into spoilers, but yeah, he's very much out there to just ruin this man's life in some rather macabre ways. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but at the same, it's not one I feel like I can go back to anytime soon because it is. Like we said, this is probably the heaviest of the War Master stories.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. And it's sort of why I'm hesitant to recommend this box set in a way, because while I can't deny a lot of the strengths of it, I also feel like you have to be in the right sort of headspace to want to listen to this, and I'm not sure if it's something everyone will want to spend their money. It's not going to be for everyone.
Yeah, it's not one where you should buy this straight away.
Yeah, it's a buyer beware, really.
Yeah. Be cautious.
This is good, but it's not going to be a fun listen for the most part.
No.
And then finally you come to the kicker, which
what a kicker it is. You feel kicked.
And it has some interesting moments in it, particularly with Derek Jacobi. I mean, I think that's, you were telling me before we started this recording about, realizing just how good of an actor he is again.
Yeah.
You almost come to. He's done 8 box sets of these now, but he never lets up, does he?
No, he never phones it in. He's always so truthful and present with everything.
There. And there's quite a few wonderful moments of him sparring off other actors.
It's just how mentally sharp this master is. And just the interrogation scene alone, just the word association on how quick fire it is. It's sort of a masterclass, really.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And I love the interactions he has with all these characters. And yeah, just the mind games that are played. It very much makes you question, okay, what is real and what isn't in this episode? But yeah, it does again lead to rather predictable place in the ends, which
feels
yeah,
very let down. It's very brushed over. Like the story hinted at it at the beginning
for a good while throughout as well.
Yeah, so it's all there for you to pick on the pieces, and when it's revealed, you're like, oh, cool, and then it's kind of over.
Yeah, it's like a very understated reveal, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does sort of make you question, okay, what was the point in everything else before that? Yeah. But, I mean, at least after that, once it's over, you cut to the end credits and you have the middle 8.
Yeah, the middle 8, I think it's one of the greatest Big Finish original themes. It is a
I love the War Master theme. Yeah, particularly. It's like a reward for reaching the end of a War Master set, isn't it? You finish that final episode, and then suddenly, you got the dun kicking in, and then the middle 8 drops. You're just like, yes, give me more.
Yeah.
Injected into me.
And it's like, what? I better do the other box sets again.
Yeah. Well, we got another one coming up, so.
Yeah. I'm in the mood for it now.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But for Solitary Confinement, I mean, I feel like, again, the whole is less than the sum of its parts.
It does what the War Master range does well. I just think it does it better in other box sets.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is at least a step in the right direction. After, I feel like a bit of a misstep last week. Yeah.
I take it over the previous 2. I think this is sort of back on track. Yeah.
Escape from reality. Yeah, this definitely feels like a step up from those. But I don't know. I feel like I'm at a loss with this box set, really, because I enjoyed most of it, or found most of it good, I suppose. Like, enjoy in some ways doesn't feel like the right wording, because it is heavy
twisted
stuff.
Yeah,
but it's good heavy stuff for the most part. But
it's a nice sort of, I don't want to say palate cleanser from your Doctor Who, but it's nice to sort of have your War Master go, that was nice, and then going back to your Doctor Who, because it kind of makes you appreciate what this range does, and what other things Big Finish has to offer.
Yeah, it just feels like a lot of them are good in isolation.
Yeah,
particularly the first 3. But then when I look at the range as a whole, I feel like, I don't know. There's ones I could recommend far more than this box set, really. Like, it just feels like we're doing a lot of the same stuff. They found their format, and they're maybe sticking with it a bit too much.
Yeah.
They're playing it a bit too safe, which feels odd to say because some of these stories go to some crazy places. So, yeah, there's just a general War Master format that is at risk of being a bit tired.
Especially when you're getting 2 box sets a year.
And I mean, they're dropping it down to 1 next year, though.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, what would you rate each individual story out of 10 and then the box set as a whole?
I'd probably go 8 for the first 3 and then maybe 7 for Kicker.
Yeah, I feel like 8 for the first 3 is fair. I'd probably go about 5 for the Kicker, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe 6. No, I think 6. I enjoyed more than I didn't. Yeah, and then probably a 7 for the overall box set.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go 7.5. I think for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
It's a solid set. It's a solid set.
I mean, yeah, if you've got all the other War Masters and you are in the mood for more, I think as long as you know what you're getting in for with the range, which I think you will by that point, if you enjoyed self-defense and escape from reality, I think you'll definitely enjoy this one as well. If, like us, you were maybe a bit tired, you don't need every Jacoby set. Maybe it's worth waiting for rogue encounters, seeing how if that one's a step up at all.
We'll probably cover that.
Hard to say. Yeah, we'll cover that next month when it comes out. But yeah, I mean, hard to say though, because like we said, it's not come out yet. We could end up liking that one far, far less. I hope not.
No, it looks good. Great.
But yeah, War Master is in a bit of a funny place for me still. It's climbing out of the doghouse. As a range. I think the character is always wonderful though. Derek Jacobi never disappoints. He's got such a wonderful voice for audio.
Yeah.
And he's just wonderful as this character. So I'm always carried by him. Yeah. It's just the risk of the format being a bit tired that I think worries me most at the moment and makes me a bit hesitant to recommend this box set fully.
I think there are better jumping on points for the range.
Oh, if you've not picked up any War Master, then this is not the place you want to start. There are quite a few better ones. Like, I think any of the first 6, maybe bar the third one, Raging Time Lords, I'd say you're not going to go too far wrong with any of those first 6, really.
Yeah.
And it's all out of order anyway. Like, you don't necessarily need to have one to understand the next. They're all pretty standalone fairs. So, yeah. Happy birthday, Derek Jacobi, once again.
Happy birthday, Derek.
Hope you've enjoyed our review, Derek, because you definitely are.
There we go. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Derek. And we'll see you next time for more Big Finish shenanigans. I think the next one we're going to be doing is The Light at the End. To celebrate the 10-year anniversary of that. So that'll be our next Big Finish review. So thank you, everyone. Please like and subscribe because it helps us out. And we'll see you in The Light at the End review.
Take care, everyone.